Hey guys, so it is Saturday, June 10th, and I know for a fact that this video is not going to be long enough, so I thought I would just talk while I do my makeup. Karen and I are going to Portobello Market today, and yeah, I was looking back at my museum footage from yesterday, and I was like, alright, in total, if I were to create a little montage with this, I know it'd be like 4 minutes long, so I'm sure I combined that with some other video and you guys have already seen that. If you haven't, definitely check that out. But I know for a fact this is not going to be long enough. So I'm using L'Oreal True Match. So I've been using this with my Real Technique sponge, and the way that I put this on is I literally have to just pour it on my face, because I found that whenever I place it straight on a sponge, no matter how wet the sponge is, it will always end up soaking up the product. And to be honest, this Real Technique one, it actually soaks up a lot more than I would like, so sometimes I'll even use it dry. But I know that's not the purpose, because look how big it is when it's completely wet compared to that. Like, that's how small it was. But sometimes, like, it just soaks up too much product, and I'm like, I'm not trying to waste my money here and have it go all into this sponge. But I will use it wet when I just want like a lighter coverage. Like today, I'm not gonna put tons and tons of face makeup on because the temperature for today is supposed to be, let's see what it is right now. Gotta wait for it to load, shocker. London, it's supposed to be 71, so I'm basically gonna wear a very similar outfit to the one that was in my 4 outfit ideas video, which I'll have a card for. It was like a summer outfit ideas video that I did with Brandon, and it's a skirt, and I'm gonna wear my Brandy Melville little ribbed tank instead, and a bralette, and then some sandals. I was gonna wear something else, but I was like, nah. I was gonna wear my really cute jumpsuit that I have, but the issue with that is it's really, really long, and I'd have to wear heels of some sort, and I'm not trying to do that if I'm walking all day. So now I'm using this e.l.f. concealer in the color medium, and that foundation is in the color W8 Creme Cafe, I believe. And I don't do all that extra highlighting anymore. If you guys have noticed, whenever I add these into my videos, I literally just do under the eyes. So now I'm using some of the e.l.f. Eyelid Primer. I think this stuff is like $1. I got it in my last beauty box, so I decided to bring it with me because I was running really, really low on like all of my eye primers. So using this, I like it because it's like, you'd think that you wouldn't like it because it's kind of slimy, but when you put your eyeshadow on it, it's actually not a huge problem. So today's eyeshadow is going to be from this Mad for Matte palette, because it's the only one, pardon, it's the only one that I brought with me. So I'm gonna do this brown in the outer corner, and then I'm actually gonna take this shade from the e.l.f. bronzer palette and just put that on my lid. So that's gonna go right in the middle and inner corner area. I usually just put it all over and then I'll go back in and take a darker shade. I just find it so much easier, especially when I'm not going for like a very precise look, and this isn't technically like an eyeshadow shade as I'm using it. I'm just using it more to just make my eyes pop a little bit more. It's not like I'm using a gold or anything. So now I'm just taking that darker brown to the outer corner, and I really like warm browns. I'm not a huge cool toned brown fan for whatever reason. I think it's because of my skin tone. It just makes more sense for me to use something a little bit on the warmer side. So you guys will always tend to see me use the orange brown, orange tan, shades like that. I really, really like. Like, there's the one shade in the Chocolate Bar palette which I completely hit pan on within like a couple months because I used it every single day. So I'm just mixing together these 2 shades at the bottom, and this is the Bronze Beauty, just e.l.f. bronzer palette. Really, really like it. Huge fan. So I'm using my new e.l.f. brush here. It's a little spoolie, and the eyebrow brush. I've actually haven't used it yet, so I'm gonna use this, and I use a shade from the Mad for Matte palette. I use this dark brown right here. Everyone asks how I do my eyebrows, and I don't think I've ever kept in a clip of me doing them. So I will try not to cut this out. But I just start right in the front, do a straight line under. I literally haven't tweezed my brows in so long. I think because the way that I fill them in, technically I don't really need to. There are some spots that I probably should, but I'm also super, super lazy. So I just get to it when I can. It also really hurts, so it's not really an enjoyable experience. But I do the bottom, and then I do the top. And the way that I fill them in is I'll fill them in from this side to the inner part. So this is pretty self-explanatory. So now I have it filled in on the outside on both sides. So then I'll just take the same color, slowly bring it into the front. And I'll do this on both sides just so I can keep it matchy-matchy. And then I'll fill in the front completely and pass the little lines that I created on both sides. And just kind of have it feather out, and then I'll literally take my finger and just push it back, push it down, just blend it out. I'm sure there's a better way of doing this, but I've been doing my eyebrows like this for like a year now, and I used to like them really thick. Now I like them on the thinner side, but this is more of just like a medium brow, I would say. I actually like my brows pretty thin, to be honest, but this is the size that I tend to opt for. And now I'm just gonna set them. So I use my Maybelline Brow Drama. This is just a translucent brow gel, and I always spoolie up and then down the arch. So I just went ahead and did my mascara off camera. I used the Maybelline Last Sensational. This is in Blackest Black, I believe. And now all I need to do is highlight my inner corner, highlight to my face, and then blend everything out. So I'm using the same highlighter that I'm going to use on my eyes that I'm going to use to actually highlight. This is the e.l.f. Baked Highlighter in the color Blush Gem. So this is more of the pink one, and the Moonlight Pearl one is more of a pearl champagne shade. So that one's more like yellow white based, and this is more like pink bronze based. In case you guys have seen them in the store, you haven't seen them swatched, and you're not quite sure which one to get. This one looks good on my skin tone. The other one is a little too bright unless I mix it with a bunch of other stuff. So I'm using my fan brush, and I put some down the nose, cupid's bow, chin, and then obviously brush it on the cheekbones. And I put it on pretty heavy, and then I'll blend it out with my bronzer actually, and then just a regular brush, just because I feel like it helps blend everything together. So I'm gonna go ahead and blend it all in with this light shade that I actually used for my lid. And then I'll go back in with my little sponge, kind of re-highlight the areas, make sure I don't have any of those like forehead lines from putting my mascara on. And then I take my Real Techniques brush and just blend it all out. So this is the finished makeup look. I keep it pretty simple on a daily basis, to be honest. Like just eyeshadow, highlight. I really care more about my face makeup than I do my eye makeup. So that's what we're doing with that. I'm probably just gonna brush out my hair, maybe like curl some parts so it blends better. I don't know, but it surprisingly doesn't look that bad today. So I'm gonna go ahead and get dressed. So now I'm having breakfast. Last night I was watching Totally Spies. It's funny because back home we have, I think, one channel that you can watch it on. I think it's also on Netflix. I think season 1 is on Netflix, American Netflix at least. But I was watching that. I love that show. I love it. And I feel like they didn't have that many seasons of it. But I think with a lot of the shows when I was growing up, they didn't have tons of seasons. They just had tons of really, really good shows. And I wish they would bring them back. But I'm having some literally like porridge oats. I'm so confused because, you know, we just have oatmeal. But the consistency of this is like completely different. What's really good, I added just a little bit of maple syrup, and then I've got my little toasties. These are amazing. If anyone knows, like, if we have these in America, please let me know what they're called, because it's literally like a little piece of toast, but they're so good. So, so good. Karen's in the shower right now, and they're just gonna get ready. So I just opted for putting on a little cardigan in case I get a little chilly, because I don't really know if it's supposed to be super windy, probably, because it's been pretty windy here. I'm so used to the wind at this point, so I just always kind of bring something, but I literally hate holding jackets. Like, I was wearing my leather jacket yesterday, and I was so hot, and I ended up holding it, and it's just annoying because I know I'm going to forget it somewhere. So I'm going to see if I can find something to watch on TV. So we went to Portobello Market, which was really, really cool. I really liked it. I went with Karen, and then Annette met up with us later when we were eating. So I got this cupcake that was literally so expensive. She got a normal priced one. I think mine was like £3.50, which is absolutely ridiculous, but I've literally only spent money on food since I've been here. I've never spent so much money on a cupcake.
Yeah, I was gonna say, how much was yours?
3 something?
What did you get? You got fancy.
It had a rainbow on it. So, literally no regrets. And then we went ahead and we went down the one street. I can't remember what the road is called. I posted a picture on Instagram where I was standing by the houses. I think it's Denby Road, because this was up in Notting Hill. And I'm just gonna tell you guys a quick funny story if you didn't read the caption to that photo. Basically, these homes are, you know, people's homes, so people actually live in them. And there were, I want to say, at least 20 people having a full-on photo shoot in front of the houses. We had to wait like 5 minutes for people to wrap up their photo shoot on people's steps. It got to the point where a woman actually came out and she screamed at one of the girls while I was getting a photo taken, but we watched this girl get screamed at because she was taking photos on people's steps. So Karen and I were like, you know, we're gonna be normal and we're gonna stay on the sidewalk because that's respectful. So then we went to get food. There's this little section when you get to the very end of the strip, and I went to Jake's Vegan Steaks. So if any of you want to try vegan food, you don't eat meat, whatever it may be, and you go to Portobello Market, look for it. I'm not quite sure how they do their foods and if they like switch in and out, but it's called Jake's Vegan Steaks, so definitely look them up on Instagram at least. It was so good. So then Annette met up with us and we headed to the South Bank, which I adored. We actually went to the South Bank the second day too. They were having this thing for MIA. I don't know if you guys remember her. She was very controversial. I personally don't like her as a person, but she came out with that song Paper Planes with T.I. Well, she was having like pre-concerts leading up to this big festival, I think. So they were having that at the South Bank Center. So we went for a little bit before we explored. And then we also came back later. So from the South Bank, you can see the London Eye, you can see Big Ben and all of that. And I have already gone to see those. So you guys will see that in probably a vlog next week, but that's gonna be the end of this vlog. I hope you guys enjoyed. If you liked the little voiceover part during some of the footage, let me know. I'm gonna try and mix it up so it's not just music all the time. So let me know if you guys like music better, voiceover better, or if you like a little bit of both, and I'll adjust that for my next couple vlogs, and I'll see you in the next one. I love you!